Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Luke is here to give you another economics lesson on why modern banking sucks. Most people watch It's a Wonderful Life and see it as a heartwarming Christmas movie about kindness and community. Come on, Mary. You want the moon, Mary? I'll give you the moon. Just I'll put a lasso around it. But what if I told you this film is one of the clearest critiques of modern banking ever put on screen? Not intentionally, not politically, but economically. Because at its core, It's a Wonderful Life shows us why small, honest banks rooted in their communities work, and why giant centralized banks protected from failure don't. George Bailey runs the Bailey Building and Loan. He knows his customers personally. He knows their families, their jobs, their character. This is exactly what Austrian economist Friedrich Hayek called local knowledge, information that cannot be centralized, modeled, or replaced by bureaucrats or algorithms. Mr. Potter, on the other hand, represents consolidation. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care what you're building. He only cares about ownership and control. Potter doesn't want prosperity for Bedford Falls. He wants dependence. And here's the key insight. Potter is not a villain because he's rich. He's a villain because he's insulated from the consequences. One of the most powerful scenes in this movie is the bank run. People panic, they want their money back. George doesn't hide behind regulations. He doesn't call Washington. He doesn't demand a bailout. He tells the truth to his customers. Your money is not here. It's in Joe's house, in the Kennedy house. This is real banking. The Bailey Building and Loan survives because it lends prudently, it maintains trust, and it carries skin in the game, which no banks do anymore. In Austrian terms, George faces real risk. And because of that, he behaves responsibly. Compare this to today's system. Today's megabanks operate under a completely different incentive structure. They are too big to fail, backstopped by the Federal Reserve, and guaranteed rescue when bets go wrong. This creates moral hazard when profits are private, but losses are socialized. That's how our modern banking system works. In It's a Wonderful Life, Potter never faces failure. In modern banking, neither do his real-world equivalents. Bad decisions aren't punished. They're rewarded with bailouts that are ultimately paid by you. Ho, ho, ho. And honest behavior becomes uncompetitive. In a genuinely free banking system, Potter's behavior wouldn't survive long. Why? Because without Fed protection, bad loans lead to failure, consolidation creates fragility, reputation actually matters. Potter thrives not because of capitalism, but because of privilege. This is the Austrian critique that's often missed. Cronyism isn't a market failure. It's government distortion. Pottersville isn't just morally bleak, it's economically distorted. Centralized ownership, extractive rent-seeking, no community investment. Bedford Falls thrives because capital is decentralized, ownership is broad, and investment is long-term. This is spontaneous order in action. No planner designed Bedford Falls. It emerged organically from voluntary cooperation. George Bailey is called a failure throughout the movie, but by Austrian standards, he is wildly successful. He allocates capital efficiently. He improves real living standards, and he creates resilient prosperity. He doesn't maximize short-term profit. He maximizes long-term stability, which creates thriving societies in the future. Modern finance would call George inefficient. The movie shows us why that's backwards. It's a Wonderful Life reminds us of something we've forgotten. Banking is not about leverage. It's not about scale, and it's not about financial engineering. It's about trust, knowledge, and responsibility. Small banks fail, and that's a feature, not a bug, because failure disciplines behavior. And when failure disappears, so does honesty. George Bailey didn't save Bedford Falls because he was bailed out. He saved it because he couldn't be. And when the moment came, the money that saved him wasn't printed, borrowed, or injected by some distant institution. It was real savings voluntarily given by the people who had a stake in Bedford Falls and trusted the man that helped them build it. No Federal Reserve, no lender of last resort, and no moral hazard. Just honest money, honest banking, and a community that understood exactly where its prosperity came from. And that's the difference between a healthy financial system and the one that we're living in today. Thank you for watching Bear Economics. If you found any value in this, just like, subscribe, drop a comment, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next episode.